If you are new to running, I would like to go from 0 to your first 5K, then this video is for you, because we will talk about how to run with confidence, how to avoid injuries, and also what to look out for and how to improve your running endurance. Hi, my name is Lisa. I'm an online running coach. I already have experience for over 5 years and I have coached over 300 athletes reach their goals. So let's dive in on how to get you to your first 5K. So something that is very important that a lot of runners get wrong in the beginning, that you should gradually increase the minutes that you're running and decrease the minutes that you're walking. So in the beginning, I would really try to focus on, first of all, running slow. And that means that you should be running up at a pace that you feel comfortable talking. So for example, you're running and you can easily count to 20 or even sing a part of your favorite song. Then after the first couple of weeks, I would advise to really start decreasing the minutes of walking to, for example, 1 minute of walking, and then gradually build up the minutes of running until, for example, like 8 minutes. If you are around 8 minutes of running, then it is time to start switching from running based on time to running based on distance. So for example, 1 kilometer running, 1 kilometer of walking, and that you repeat it, for example, like 3 times, and that's it. You don't need more. Also, what is very important, and I would always advise my athletes, is that after, for example, 3 or 4 weeks of constantly running, that you also take a rest week. And during this rest week, it is very important to focus on alternative training such as cross training, cycling, swimming, elliptical, and even focusing a little bit more on strength training. So actually all of those sports that have nothing to do with running. During those 3 or 4 training weeks that you are focused on running, I wouldn't run more than 3 times a week. And what I would personally do is you do 1 day of running, 1 day of rest, 1 day of running, 1 day of rest, because that way you give your body the needed time to also adapt to the impact that running has on your body. And that's a mistake that a lot of runners make in the beginning, that they start way too fast, way too quickly, and way too much. I do understand that running is an amazing sport, and also it gets the adrenaline up. A lot of the time you also see a change in your body composition, but please be careful. The impact running has on your body is huge. So that's why your body needs the time to also adapt to those changes that running is giving you. To also just make running a little bit more fun, once you've completed your first training block, so those first 3-4 weeks of running and then a rest week, I would start adding accelerations to your running plan. So that can look, for example, 1 kilometer of running, 1 minute of slightly increasing the pace, and then 1 minute of walking. By including acceleration into your training plan, first of all, you're getting a lot of fun out of it. You're also giving your body those impulses that it needs to keep improving, and it's also fun to pick up the pace every now and then. However, very important, those accelerations should not be sprinting, because that is still too much, and that is for the next training block. So to break it down for you, first training block, we're really focusing on building that base. The second training block, we're going to start adding accelerations, but still followed by minutes of walking. And then the third training block, I would start quitting those minutes of walking. So you start running, for example, 3 kilometers at a comfortable pace that you feel like you can still have a conversation or sing your favorite song. And once you've completed this training block without any difficulties, but not exceeding those 5 kilometers, then the fourth training block, I would, the first 2 weeks, start with also adding the accelerations into them without walking, also some sprints to like mix things up. And then the third or the fourth week, depending on how comfortable you feel, then you can start going for that first 5K. But you probably already guessed it, and that's also where you might have gone wrong in the past, is running actually has a lot of other things that are important to notice. So let's go more in depth into them now. Some tips that I would really like to give to you before you're getting started with your 5K is, first of all, focus on endurance. Speed comes later. In the beginning, it's very important to build a good base, and don't worry too much of your speed. We will start working on that in the next couple of weeks. Also, it is more important to stay consistent than, for example, try to do 1 week 5 runs, because that is not consistent in the long run, but really start to do for like 2 or 3 runs every week. And then once you get into that consistency, you can start adding more things to it. But first of all, really focus on building your consistency. Consistency will get you much further than trying to do everything perfect or really focusing on doing as much as you can. Another tip that I really want to give to you is listen to your body. I think nowadays we all are really looking to social media, Strava, to compare ourselves with others, but it is very important to tune into how your body feels, because honestly that is where the real progress starts. And then also some general tips that I want to give to beginners is, first of all, invest in a good running shoe. So the general recommendation is to choose for a stability shoe. It can be Asics, Brooks, Nike, but go to a specific running store that takes your running gait and that you can also try some different models. Once you figured out which kind of model you like, which kind of brand goes well for your foot, then you can start experimenting in the long run. But in the beginning, really invest in a decent running shoe, because an injury costs more than a running shoe. Then also, it is not that important to already invest that much on all the specific running gear, all the running watches, etc. Don't get tempted to already go for the most expensive watch that exists. Honestly, in the beginning, the only thing you really need is a watch that measures your heart rate, also has GPX in it, and if you want, maybe you can also add some music features, but that's totally up to you. So honestly, in the beginning, the only things I would really focus on is having good running shoes, maybe a watch if you really want to track also your sleep and recovery, but you don't need a lot more for your first 5K. If you like this video, then stay tuned for the next one, because there I will explain how to get to your first 10K. See you there.